This is where Jean Garson's body was discovered.
What are we looking for?
If you scan the room, environmental data may allow for scene recreation.
There. This was no accident. She was murdered.
As this incident occurred over a year ago, her killer is likely far away by now.
Yeah. But, wait. This whole area was shuttered back then. Didn't open until the Hyperion arrived. So what was Garson even doing here?
Perhaps a further scan of the room is in order.
A hidden door. What do we have here?
This is Jean Garson. I don't have much time. I've been hiding in the sealed-off sections of the Nexus since we got here. Someone's trying to kill me, and now I can hear them down in the hydroponics area. They're coming. I've embedded what I know in my VI in the Cultural Center. This log has the code, and whatever happens... Oh God, they're outside the door.
Wow, this is some serious shit.
Yes, deeply troubling. I have the code she mentioned for the VI kiosk.
Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education. Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
Welcome back. Hello there, neighbor. I'm Jean Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative. I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
Okay.
Great. If you're seeing this, it means our Pathfinders have done their job and made new friends in the galaxy. Welcome to the Nexus. But I want to put your mind at ease. Seeing our arcs arrive in your neighborhood probably raised some concerns. I'm happy to address them. Thank you for taking the time to listen. On behalf of my fellow Milky Way travelers... Hello there, neighbor. I'm Jean Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative. I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
Sam, can we hear that message Garson talked about?
Unlocking it now. Rerouting to our private channel.
For years, there was a silent partner involved with the initiative. The truth is, I was running out of money. Then a benefactor stepped in. I didn't ask questions. I never met them face to face. That was a mistake. I lied to everyone. Something big spooked them in the Milky Way, and now they're moving 100,000 of us to Andromeda. I hope it's all for the good, but I have my doubts. And now I think they're going to remove me. Alec Ryder and I had a code word for this. Fulcrum. He may have learned more.
What did that mean? Something big in the Milky Way.
Perhaps your father's locked memories hold the answer. He might have known more.
Yeah. Guess I'll have to keep unlocking them to find out for sure.
We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people.
What? Why? That's why you came here in the first place. I have friends at the station now.
Nexus exiles find a home as former security are implicated in the mutiny. An investigation revealed Nexus security head Sloan Kelly played a role in the uprising that killed dozens. Initiative authorities tracked the exiles, including Kelly, to Kadara, a desert planet in the Gavorkum system. Initiative Director Jaren Tan
I'll
did
handle
not
any
mince
fallout.
words when news of the exile port was made public.
Kadara is dangerous. The exiles are dangerous. Stay away from Kadara. I can not stress this enough.
This is HNS.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status.
Pathfinder?
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Name and designation if available.
Let's keep this between us. Here's the info.
Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
Another time.
Pathfinder.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal. I'm sorry, man. We're just trying to...
Construction and repairs continue on various parts of the Nexus. Authorities have no word on completion and remind visitors to avoid affected areas. This is HNS.
Phoebe said she wanted to talk to you.
He must like it in here.
He ate half our chocolate supply. Do you have any idea what I could have traded for that?
Pathfinder, I've retrieved actionable intel from the security vid of Spender.
What did you find?
Updating your system with the nav point.
I'm picking up something. Deploying probe. I found something.
According to that astronomer on Aya, a satellite should be here.
I'm not detecting anything. If it was here, it's gone.
You mean destroyed?
I mean, gone. Destruction would leave debris. We've got nothing. Let's try another nav point. Anomaly detected. Probes launched. I found something. You're sure that astronomer's nav points are correct?
He seemed to think so.
There's nothing out here.
The Scourge didn't swallow a satellite whole. You can't do that, right?
I'll let you know. Let's check other nav points. Anomaly detected. Probes launched. I found something.
Let me guess. No Angaran satellite?
No, but I've got something else. Message buoy from an Angaran ship. They came here looking and didn't find anything either. Left a marker for us.
Must be the team our astronomer sent.
They headed to a new nav point. We should join the party. I'm picking up something. Probes launched. I found something. Stand by. I'm cutting through heavy interference from the Scourge.
We are pretty close for comfort.
Something's drifting just inside. Angaran ship. In pieces. No life signs.
Who did this? Ket?
I found the ship's log. Scanning and downloading. Scavengers. The Angara caught them stealing satellites. The Scavs fought back, and the Angara collided with the Scourge.
Can we find the scavengers?
I have their ship's transponder ID. It's registered out of Kadara port.
Pythias system, home of Eos and Prodromos. Descent is green.
Coordinating. Path is calm.
A pity your first outpost had to be military. But I see
Hello,
why.
Ryder.
Word is, it's a paradise planet. Aya. Waterfalls and green trees.
Is he...
Pathfinder? Jarkett, Tervian. I understand I was pulled from Cryo ahead of schedule. My family is grateful, but I consider it my debt.
Everyone gets out eventually.
That may be, but the least I can do is show you the benefit. I'm exo-studies now, but in a former life, let's say I knew tactics. If I supplied the Ket on this planet, I drifted in. And there's only so many gravitational paths. Here's some navs to check for anomalies. Good hunting, Pathfinder.
Peebee, do you really think this remnant stuff's gonna help us live here?
All signs point to yes?
You don't sound sure.
We'll find a way. Even if it's not remnant, I'm sure we will.
Got them all.
sent his go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear. I think Lexi wanted to speak to you. I'm picking up something. Probes launched. Getting a scan.
Our Turian friend on Eos has good instincts. Let's check it out.
I'm picking up something. Probes launched. I found something.
Possible Ket supplies. Just like Darket suggested.
Ah, Ryder. Sorry for the mess.
Who's your friend?
An exalted Ket. I called Jarl to show him. Ah, there he is. Jarl, look at this. There's nothing Angara inside.
The physical can be deceiving.
I've run hundreds of tests. Only traces of the Angara genome remain. The exalted are Ket.
There must be a way to fix them.
We need to be prepared that there might not be.
Jarl, remember what we talked about?
That we should examine the problem objectively? Excuse me.
Grief is never easy. But Jarl needs to accept that exaltation is permanent.
We've barely scratched the surface of what Ket are capable of.
The Exalted are new beings. It's more than a transformation, it's a birth. There's no going back. Jarl is part of this crew. His welfare is my responsibility.
I know this job was a surprise, but you've really stepped up. And look, you got your Ket sample.
Their bodies are unlike anything I've seen. Centuries of gene stealing, crafted evolution. It's horrible, of course, but also fascinating.
Glad you're settling in.
Sink or swim, right? I should probably clean this up before it starts to smell. Ah, right.
Who's...
And Jarl,
There must be a way to fix them.
Anything's possible. We just have to keep trying.
Even from mistakes, we can learn. Thank you, Ryder.
What?
Jarl needs to accept that exaltation is permanent. You're making his grief worse.
I didn't think about it like that.
Because you see him as a friend, not a patient. That's why I'm here. To observe and treat. Jarl is part of this crew. His welfare is my responsibility.
And you're taking good care of him. Just remember why you came here, too. There is a new alien species on your table.
My hands actually shook when I made the first incision. See this bone-like armor? It feels as strong as a Krogan's frontal plate.
I'll take your word for it.
I should probably clean this up before it starts to smell. Ah, right.
Who's your...
Jarl?
The physical... There must be a way to fix them.
We need to be prepared that there might not be.
Jarl, remember...
Excuse...
Grief is never easy. But Jarl needs to accept that exaltation is permanent.
We've barely scratched the...
Jarl is part of this crew. His welfare is my...
Now orbiting Kadara. Incoming call. Patching it through.
There's been a development regarding the spy, Venturev. Rendezvous at Kroller's Song. Your contact's codename is Shayna.
Shayna. Got it. That's one hell of a welcome sign.
Exiles have stepped up their game since the revolt.
Not too shabby for folk who got kicked off the station with nothing to show for it.
Maybe we can get them back on our side.
We know they can fight Ket.
Our supplier's waiting. Come on, we're gonna be late.
Do I even want to know?
Nope.
How are we supposed to survive out there?
Not my problem. You're no better than the Nexus.
Don't blame us because you couldn't pay your fees.
Sloan's not running a fucking charity.
You won't get away with this. My people won't allow it. Not for us. The Angara would have been slaughtered by the Kent.
Ungrateful prick.
We'll find a way. We always do.
No more talking. I'm sick of your shit.
What are you doing to these people?
Nothing they weren't expecting. Port's got 2 rules. No guns and pay your protection fees.
What are you, the mob?
Other way around. Outcasts of the law in Kadara. You got a problem with that? You can join these assholes.
Pathfinder, it will be difficult to find the spy if you're barred from the city.
Guess that's true.
What was that?
Nothing. I'll be on my way.
Creep.
You can't do this.
This is our home.
Should have paid your protection fees then.
And Sloan wonders why people join the collective.
Say that again. I dare you.
You're late.
Hey!
Piss off.
You order, you pay.
I said...
You look like you're waiting for someone.
I've got time for a drink.
Shayna, but you can call me Reyes. I hate code names.
I was expecting someone more Angaran.
The Resistance pays me to supply information, among other things.
So you're a smuggler?
Your man, Ven Terev, was arrested by Sloane Kelly, leader of the Outcasts. Word spread about what he did to Moshe Sefa. The people are calling for his execution, and Sloane? She's a woman of the people.
I like her already.
Well, she doesn't like you.
She's never met me.
You work for the Initiative. Sloane was part of the uprising on the Nexus. I doubt she'll give Ven up easily.
Maybe she'll agree to a deal.
There might be another way to get to Ven. You work Sloane, I'll talk to the Resistance.
How do I contact you if things go south?
Hey, you gotta pay.
Keep the change.
Always do.
One more, just one more.
What can I get you? Don't say surprise me.
So, what's the latest in Kadara?
The port's on the brink of civil war. The Charlatan and the Collective have been gunning for Sloane's throne. Thought it was all talk until they started killing each other in the Badlands.
You're pretty calm about it.
When you live in a place run by pirates, violence becomes relative. I'm not gonna worry until the shooting's outside my bar.
How do you feel about Sloane? Do you like her?
I like Sloane fine, but her protection fees can go to hell.
She makes you pay for protection?
Yep, and the price of safety keeps getting higher. Can't complain too much, though. The Outcasts are my biggest customers.
You mentioned the Charlatan and the Collective.
Yeah, what about them?
Who are they?
Wow, you're new here. No one knows who the Charlatan is. That's kind of the point. He, she, they, whatever, run the Collective. They like to think of themselves as some kind of spy network. But they're just thugs. Might be a little smarter than the Outcasts, but no one's got the moral high ground in Kadara.
Thanks for the gossip.
Part of the job.
Were you a bartender back in the Milky Way?
Yup.
You like it?
Nope.
So why do it?
It's familiar.
If you want it familiar, you're in the wrong galaxy.
I am where I am. Bartended on Thessia for 200 years. Thought I wanted a change. Turns out, change sucks.
Actually, I'm okay.
Whatever.
Pathfinder. Interested in the Collective's services?
How do you know who I am?
The Collective makes a point of knowing everything and everyone worth knowing in Helios.
You sound more like information brokers than pirates.
The two aren't mutually exclusive.
What's going on between the Collective and the Outcasts?
Officially, nothing.
Unofficially?
Lines are being drawn, Pathfinder. That's all I can say.
Who is the Charlatan? No one seems to have a straight answer.
The Charlatan is our leader and a private individual. Even I haven't seen him in person.
You take orders from a stranger?
I've met representatives. People who speak for the Charlatan and carry out their will. Whoever the Charlatan is, man or woman, They provide information, care, resources. It's ours. That's enough for me.
I'm having trouble nailing down what the Collective is exactly.
Understandable. We aren't one thing. Think of us as a service provider. We cater to our clients' needs.
Even if that means killing and stealing from people.
Survival is an ugly business, Pathfinder, but unlike the Outcasts, we aren't governed by hate. If the initiative proved reasonable, I'm sure the Charlatan would be willing to work with the Nexus.
Let's say I was interested in joining your little gang. How would I do that?
You're more high profile than our usual members, but it's up to the Charlatan who joins. If you have potential, our leader will reach out to you, usually through a representative.
And then what?
For some, that's it. Others may have to pass a test. It's different for every recruit.
Thanks for your time.
Of course, Pathfinder. Of course.
Sam, tell me about Sloane Kelly.
Before joining the initiative as head of Nexus Security, Miss Kelly served in the Alliance with a nearly spotless record.
Nearly?
She was involved in multiple altercations with other officers.
A hothead. Great.
I get it, I do. But no one leaves the port until their docking papers go through process.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just greasing some palms so we can park the Nomad.
Need any help?
Thanks, but I've got this. You just focus on the spy.
What's going on?
Sloane kicks out people who don't pay her protection fees.
So, the initiative finally found us.
Who says I'm initiative?
Your gear, it's too shiny. I recruit for the Outcasts, but something tells me Sloane won't want you.
I'm a Pathfinder, so probably not.
A Pathfinder? Goddess. Thought you were all dead.
Things seem tense between the Outcasts and the Collective.
They're a bunch of hypocritical upstarts who hide their dirty tactics behind good business.
See? There's that tension.
Sloane will make quick work of them.
Why hasn't she done so already?
It's not for me to question her methods. Kadera's ours. Nothing's gonna change that.
Tell me about Sloane.
Before the uprising, she was head of Nexus Security. She gave up her position to protect us. We'd be dead if not for her.
Do you know her personally?
She makes it a point to get to know all of her people, which is a lot more than the charlatan can say.
Can anyone join the Outcasts? Besides me, of course.
Anyone can show interest, but Sloan has final say on who becomes a member.
I'm guessing there's a selection process.
All recruits undergo a series of trials that tests their endurance, loyalty, and intellect.
What does it mean to be part of the Outcasts?
For most people, it's a sense of security. Something desperately needed in Helios.
You didn't feel secure on the Nexus?
You weren't there during the uprising. It was chaos. And the idiots running things only made it worse. Thanks to Sloan, we have direction. A family.
So you're happy under Sloan?
Yeah, guess I am. Can't say this is what I expected when I signed up in the Milky Way, but I came to Andromeda to be part of something bigger than myself. I have that with the Outcasts.
That's all for now.
See you around, Pathfinder. Running low on filters.
Move along.
Focus defenses here and here. The Ket have been quiet for too long. What?
You must be Sloan Kelly.
I know who you are. So, what brings a Pathfinder to our humble port?
Ven Terev. Name ring any bells?
What's he to you? And don't lie to me.
I need him so I can infiltrate a Ket flagship. You've obviously got no love for the Ket. I'm doing you a favor.
Kadara is an Angaran port. They want Ven dead, and I want to keep them happy.
This is bigger than local politics.
You don't need Ven. You need his intel. Talk to him before I put his head on a spike.
Ven should be judged by the Resistance, not you.
I don't have time for a morality debate. Dismissed.
Your Highness.
You're not welcome here.
That could have gone better.
Perhaps Mr. Vidal had more success.
Scavenger ship ID to a place out in Kadara's Badlands.
Good work, Subi.
Maybe you can recover those Angaran satellites they stole.
Running low on filters.
Sloane's inside. Mind your damn manners.
What? What's he to you? And don't lie to me.
I need... This is bigger.
You don't need Ven. You need his intel. Talk to him before I put his head on a...
I can work with that.
See? No reason we can't be civilized.
I should have brought refreshments.
Give the Pathfinder access to the holding cells. You're not what I expected, Pathfinder.
I get that a lot.
Keep staying on Sloane's good side, and I'll be really impressed.
Are you Sloane's second in command?
She calls me her right-hand Turian. I keep the wheel from squeaking.
Did you switch sides with Sloane during the mutiny?
I came over on Argnatanus. Never stepped foot on the Nexus.
I ran into some Natanus survivors on Havarl.
They're still alive? Must be Rix's doing.
You know Avitus?
We've crossed paths.
The Collective is making waves in Kadara Port. What's the Outcast's plan to stay on top?
By not telling our strategies to strangers.
You and Sloane seem close.
What about it?
Nothing. Just wondering what's the story there.
We met on the Citadel. She punched me in the face when I offered to buy her a drink.
Seriously?
No. Mind your own business, Pathfinder.
See you around, Kaitis.